All right. So Octane is a premier IBM partner, a gold partner based in Australia. We're based out of Sydney. Our head office is in Sydney, and we mainly look after or look at automating and providing expertise to the finance teams to implement, install budgeting, planning tools, analytics tools, reporting tools. And we've also recently signed up with Blackline, which I'll talk about a bit further. We do consulting, so we able to work with the CFO and the team of finance and in understanding and workshop what the correct budgeting forecasting process or the model should look like. We've got the expertise and the scale to do the development. We've got development teams both in Australia, India, and Middle East. The other tool we deal with is Blackline. So if you haven't heard of Blackline or don't know what it is, it's probably a good time to do some research. Blackline is an application that's cloud-based and modernizes the finance and accounting functions. It automates the back-end close, the month-end closure. This slide probably gives you a good indication of the type and the size of the clients that we deal with. So we everything from some of the smaller organizations locally based here or in India to some of the largest global enterprises. So we've got expertise and experience working with all types of clients and would be happy to assist you with anything. It's about close to 80% on version 63.
Right,
40% of us are not using PO at the moment.
Right.
We don't have a follow-up question, but it would be interesting to know why you're not using PO, whether you're not licensed for it at the moment. If not, then talk to us, or for some other reason, because this is quite a game-changing front end for your environment. All right, so the main numbers are that about 38% now stands at 38% are not using PO. 6% are using version 57 or less, and 20% are using version 58 to 62. 25% are using 63, and 13% are using PO, but are not sure which one.
Okay, so I think we have a good. Thanks, Andra. Thanks for that.
All right.
The same view, pretty much the same view on both the left and right side. So when I click on this view and click on this ribbon, you will notice there are a lot of options available in this within this cube view. But whereas in the new version of Planning Analytics, when I click on this, it's much more easy to pick. One is it's much more smaller. The icons are much smaller. And two, what you will notice here is, maybe I'll expand this. Right. So what IBM has done is it has grouped this into two buckets. One is called the book tools. So the book tool starts from here and it finishes right here. So that goes for the book. So anything I do here, if your book has got many widgets, it will apply for all those widgets. For example, if I refresh, it will refresh not only this, but it will refresh all the objects. And from here onwards, you see the widget tool. So for this widget, I've got all these options, whether I want to change the visualizations, I want to refresh. As you can see, I've got a recalculate the refresh button again, but that refresh is the same view, pretty much the same view on both the left and right side. So when I click on this view and click on this ribbon, you will notice there are a lot of options available in this within this cube view. But whereas in the new version of Planning Analytics, when I click on this, it's much more easy to pick. One is it's much more smaller. The icons are much smaller. And two, what you will notice here is, maybe I'll expand this. Right. So what IBM has done is it has grouped this into two buckets. One is called the book tools. So the book tool starts from here and it finishes right here. So that goes for the book. So anything I do here, if your book has got many widgets, it will apply for all those widgets. For example, if I refresh, it will refresh not only this, but it will refresh all the objects. And from here onwards, you see the widget tool. So for this widget, I've got all these options. What is here is there are two things which are missing from the old version. One is adding this view. This anyway is available for us to drag and drop from here itself. So I think for that reason, maybe IBM has removed that option. And also I think this option, which we had it in our older version of TM1, is to search for views and subsets and reports. I think that option is also not available in the new version of POW. So that's something to keep in mind, these two features. So this is where probably it's really powerful now with all this positioning, the sizing and the rotation, the angles. It helps you to place your icons or your views, your visualizations exactly to the spot where you want to keep. Whereas you don't have to guess where you have to drag and drop, but rather you can use the properties and set up the position or the height and width of your objects. And not only that, I think all these widgets, what we bring from this left side, we not only get the properties, but we can also change the layout or the colors. Again, the colors which are available in the older version of, you can see here, it has got a standard colors about 10 to 15. But again, when we go to the new version of Planning Analytics Workspace, which version 63, I can bring in any color from, if I go to this view, I can have my own RGB color, apply, and you can see a bang. So I've got unlimited colors now to play around with, whereas with the version 57 and less, you don't have that many color options as well. Maybe I'll just zoom in a bit more. Right. So as you can see, when I zoom resize, it fits in nicely within that window. And also, if you are in this area, you can use your scroll up and down to zoom in as well. So that's something really good. If we have too many things going on in the chart, if you want to go specific to this specific section, you can zoom in and then see, okay, this is for account number 6399, and it becomes really easy visually if you want to zoom into specific area of the visualization. And of course, the colors, I think all the colors which I spoke about in terms of you can apply your own colors can be done for this chart as well. So if I go to the visualizations, you have the fill color, you have the border color. So you have, again, plenty of colors to apply for this chart. So you don't have to go with the standard colors as we have done with the Planning Analytics workspace with 57 and less. Now with the latest version, you can go and use your company or colors, apply that, and then you can start using that as well. Feature I wanted to showcase, and with that I'll open the floor for any Q&A.
Thank you, Samir. That's quite amazing. It's looking quite good now, isn't it?
It has changed completely now, yes.
All right, there have been a few questions that have come in. If there are any others, feel free to drop it in the chat or the Q&A. One is, once you upgrade to the latest version of POW, is it possible to go back and downgrade?
So I think that's a good point. I think if you are on cloud, as I mentioned, I think IBM will automatically upgrade your POW. But if you're on local, then yes, you can. If you are on 63, for instance, if you want to go back to say 61, because it's on local, you can do it. But with cloud, the answer is no. But with on-premises, the answer is yes.
Okay. And what about PEX? So if you do upgrade POW, do you also need to upgrade PEX?
I think that depends on the version of POW you'll be. For instance, if you're going from say version 45 and you're jumping straight to 63, then yes, you need to upgrade your packs as well. But let's say you're moving from 61 to 62, which is a minor upgrade, then you don't have to upgrade your packs.
Okay, good. And what about mobile devices? So Workspace works is
iPad. Yes, at this point, I think iPad is supported, but hopefully in future there could be other Android devices IBM might support. But at this point, yes,